of General Administration of Sport, Gao Zhidan. Now let's welcome the First Minister to the corridor. Now the floor is open to questions.
请北区那位穿黑色上衣的女记者提问。
Thank you. People's Daily. Good afternoon, Mr. Guan. In the government work report, we talk about we should safeguard that the arable land right line, what measures the Ministry of Natural Resources will take to maintain that arable land above the right line. Thank you very much for your question. And this is a very important question because our land related to the national's development and also people's well-being. Since the 18th National Congress, we safeguard that the 1.8 billion mu of the arable land, supporting the development of the food security. And also this year government report and also the #1 document also identified tasks in this regard, especially the quantity and quality and ecological conservation related in this regard. We need to do the three things. First, we should maintain the quantity. And we should target our plan to that the number identified in the plans, make sure that we also manage the arable land in one map. And also based on that one map, we also to develop the arable land and to a more intelligent development, so we could get a full picture of the arable land. And we also need to understand that the spatial relocation and also make sure that if the land is used for non-agricultural purpose, we also need to identify the exact number for that compensation and also make sure that there's no cheating happened in this process. And in terms of that spatial allocation, we should base on that the survey and the analysis. And we need to, first of all, overhaul the existing arable land, make sure that we have that the targeted plan for the each mu of the arable land, make sure that they plant that suitable products, and also need to further increase the proportion of quality land. And for the Chernobyl land, we need to have a better protection, make sure that they could be the best land for use. And talking about this ecological conservation, we need to think about that we should be a systematic management of the resources. And we should find the water in order to lock the land, and also if that the available natural resources nearby, we need to think about how to better leverage that kind of the resources to the best effect and usage. By doing so, we would like to create that beautiful landscape so people could enjoy that beautiful landscape and also recall their childhood memory. I believe they could be a new fashion for the people. For some wrongdoing, especially that impact people's well-being and also damage the natural resources and ecology, we should also punish these kind of activities in order to protect people's rights. And we know that this is actually a hard job to do, and we also need to take the toughest measure to protect our arable land, and also for the whole society, we also need to keep our awareness of that this arable land is very valuable, and we need to make sure that for each and every mu of the land they use for their best purpose. And we should need to ensure that all these arable land evolve that the right line and make sure that the football is safely hold it in our hand. Thank you.
Next question, please. 谢谢主持人。文汇报记者提问，关部长
Thank you. I'm
您
with
好。今
Wenhui
年要
Bao.
推动三北工程标志性战役取得重要成果。
This year we are going to
想请
make
部长介
important
绍一下工程
breakthroughs
线上
regarding
有
the
关
three
情况。
North Shelterbelt, and can you tell us the latest progress in this regard? Thank you for your question. The three North Shelterbelt program is a national initiative and it's a milestone of China's ecological efforts. In 2013, when President Xi Jinping was visiting Beijing of Inner Mongolia, he called for the Chinese to create even a greater miracle in Shelterbelt. Over the years, thanks to the unified leadership from the central government, government agencies at different levels and the state-owned enterprises as well as the private sector have worked together to finish an area of 720,000 in the northwestern part of the country. We have initiated a number of key programs which are well underway, and in the Kachin Desert, the Gobi Desert is being turned back into grassland. In Kubuchi, we have delivered a grass belt that is 400 kilometers long. We have solar power and solar power panels which are reflecting the landscape of the desert. The second largest landscape of the whole world is now blessed with the green belt, laying the groundwork for systemic solutions going forward. The Three North Shelterbelt program in the new era pays more attention to innovation in governance models, and we pay even closer attention to the integration of social and economic benefits. We're using solar power to facilitate our desertification efforts. We also built more roads to counteract the desert. In so doing, we're also yielding benefits to the local residents. We have issued a total of 150 million yuan worth of subsidy, which mobilized 200,000 people to get engaged in the desertification efforts. We also pay more attention to international exchange and cooperation. In so doing, we are contributing Chinese wisdom and Chinese solutions to the global efforts of desertification. At the end of last year, at the High Contracting Parties Conference in Saudi Arabia regarding desertification, we presented China's efforts and practice, which won great recognition from the international community. A number of new solutions, for example, desertification through road building and green belts, have won high recognition from the whole world. Entering spring, we have deployed more task forces to the front line. In the new era, we will remember the important instruction of General Secretary, act in a spirit of the Three North Shelterbelt, defy all the odds, and make sure that every tree that we plant can grow into big trees, so as to make sure that we can make meaningful and milestone breakthroughs regarding the Three North Shelterbelt. And tomorrow, we're going to celebrate the 47th Tree Planting Day. I sincerely welcome each and every one of you to get engaged in the Three North Shelterbelt activity. Let's reinforce the ecological barrier in China's north and tell the story of man-nature harmony. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's welcome the second minister, Minister of Culture and Tourism, Mr. Sun Yeli. Good afternoon. Now the floor is open to questions.
请南区这位穿深蓝色的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。
CMG, a question to Mr. Sun. In the past year, people has highly interested in participating in the tourism and the cultural activities. But for different companies, different regions feel the different heat of that wave. And some companies, they got a lot of benefits from it. But some people or companies saying that you could see this is a big wave, but we could really make a little from that. So what's your view on this? Thank you for your question. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity for journalists for your support and participate in the cultural and the tourist activities. Yes, indeed, as you said, that the heat wave of the cultural and the tourist activities actually have been continued. You could see above the designated size that the companies and industries in this regard realize that 14 trillion RMB revenue and a 6% increase year by year. And we have 310,000 registered companies in this regard, 7% increase in this regard as well. You could see this show a very strong growth momentum. The scale of the tourist industry last year, we have seen that the 1.6 billion people traveled, spending 570 billion RMB. And in terms of inbound tourism, we have received 132 million people coming to China for tourism. They spent around, that's around 90 billion the US dollars, almost to 100 billion. Of course, the number only reflects one side of the picture. Talk about our own observation experience, especially during the holidays. The ODA destination, tourism destination, said that we actually, all the people in the country came to our site. You could see the museum, the big concerts. It's really hard to get a ticket. And we talk about night schools. And also people said it's really hard to make a reservation. So you could see that the income and revenue actually is increased. And more people actually practice or involved in the activities. And also for the profit margin actually is around 9%. That's quite the awesome result for the A-level scenic spots and for the resort, and also the revenue for the tourist agencies actually all have seen a big increase. And the increase rate above at least 10%. Yes, indeed, as you said, for the companies in different regions, they feel the different level of heat. And also some companies in this regard also face some difficulties in operation. We also look into details in this regard. You could talk about China enjoys a vast market with a large number of entities. For each year, of course, there could be some enterprises. They did not survive and also withdrew from the market. For the culture and tourism industry, we could talk about the reason behind all this phenomenon. I believe could be that the consumption upgrading cause a diversity in this market. So that's also the different performance of different companies. We could see that people actually have a higher requirement needs of the cultural and tourist products. People previously spend a lot on food, but right now they spend a lot on service. People before they pay a lot of attention on the value, but right now people pay more attention about that the aesthetic and emotional value. So people right now actually believe that I spent money. Of course, first I have that kind of a need, and then that's also for my passion. I love it. I would like to spend money on it. This is how that the people consumption behavior change. So this is the background that people upgrade their consumption on culture and tourism. So for the companies, they get in line with this trend, they could make that benefit from it. So you could see that the museum actually, they had a very good DA product. So actually, a lot of people really love that because that's the magnet badge. So that's the for the freight. So people actually could see they got up in the very early morning. They line up in front of the National Museum. And also more than 800,000 of that magnet sold last year. So it tells the truth that as long as you have that right product, then you could make profit from that. In Yunnan province, right now you could see that they also have a program that inviting people stay a longer period in Yunnan. They not just want people to spend one more night. They would like the tourists to spend a season there, or at least a quarter time period there. So last year we could see 3.89 million people spent at least 80 days there. So we talk about that 4 million people with 80-day stay there, they could spend that 40 to 50 billion RMB there. So that could be also a big booster to drive the local consumption market. And also we could see that there is also some new products empowered by technologies. So we talk about immersive experience. We talk about performance with this immersive technology. They invest a little, but they gain a buck from that. And also for each year, this kind of performance is more than 1,000 times. And this year we have to mention that Ne Jia 2, of course, right now, that's almost to that 15 million ticket box. So we talk about as long as you have the good that the products that you could always have that meet people's needs. So you need to be align yourself, your product, your service with people's upgraded consumption. So you need to think about that what kind of product you attract the consumers, why they pay for you. So you talk about that heat differences that also could be translated as a differences in pressure. So that force the companies in this market, in these industries, to also increase or improve their products and services in order to realize high-quality development. I believe as long as we make more efforts in this regard, we could, I believe everyone could get a piece of cake from that.
请北区靠南侧的那位穿浅咖色的女记者提问。
Next question, please.
谢谢主持人，部长您好。
Good afternoon. I'm with China Youth Daily and its associated website.
去年，习近平总书记在地
Last
方
year,
考
General
察时
Secretary
多次
Xi,
强调，把文化
when
旅
he
游业培
visited
育成支
different
柱
parts of
产
the
业。
country, he said
对
we
于文
need
化旅
to
游业作为
cultivate
支柱
the
产业，您怎么理解？
tourism industry
文化
as
和旅
the
游部
pillar
对打造
industry
这
of
一
the
新
country.
的
What
支
is
柱
your
产
take on
业
this?
有哪
And
些
what
考虑和打算？谢谢。
plans do you have to implement this vision? Thank you for your question. President Xi and the Party Central Committee attach great importance to the development of culture and tourism industry. And last year, the first tourism development conference was held, and General Secretary Xi made important instructions. He has positioned the culture and tourism industry as a key supporting industry of our economy, and while visiting numerous locations, localities, he said that we have to cultivate the tourism industry as a pillar of the Chinese economy. And this is a great inspiration for the culture and tourism industry. We believe, and this is due to President Xi's deep understanding about the pattern of modernization in different countries as well as in developed countries, and this is a scientific conclusion he has drawn in terms of the journey of modernization. If you take a look at the journey in other countries, culture and tourism industry played a very important role even to this day. The culture and tourism industry in some developed countries, they account for a big portion of their national economy. In some of the countries, it accounts for more than 20% of the economy. In China, the culture and tourism industry, they account for 4% and 5% respectively. Combined, they account for 9% of China's economy. So this is a very good foundation, but we still have tremendous amount of room for future development. Given China's social and economic development trend, we can see a greater driving force of consumption. Right now, one of the key factors that is impeding China's economy is sluggish domestic spending. So we can let culture and tourism industry play a much bigger role because it involves multiple groups of population and different consumption scenarios and a very long consumption chain. So culture and tourism industry can play a very important role in boosting domestic consumption. We have been earnestly learning and understanding the important instruction made by President Xi. We believe transforming culture and tourism industry into a key pillar of our economy will empower China's high-quality development. This is only fitting for the time being and for future periods of time. How to cultivate the culture and tourism industry into a key pillar of our economy? We have our own understandings. For example, number one, we need to allow planning to play a leading role. The culture and tourism industry should be incorporated into the drafting of national social and economic development plans so that from the level of strategic planning we can make some space for the culture and tourism industry. Meanwhile, we support different localities to adopt varied approaches based on their own realities so that we can put in place targeted measures in this regard. For example, we also need to strengthen the construction of infrastructure in tourism to cultivate the culture and tourism industry as a key pillar of the Chinese economy. This is a requirement from the top level of government. So we have to invest in tourism-related infrastructure. And since the opening up and reform policy, and since in particular entering the new era, China has invested heavily in culture and tourism. But if we are talking about a pillar industry or a key industry of the Chinese economy, we are still lagging behind in terms of infrastructure building, and there are some weak links in the culture and tourism industry. So in the future, we will have to mobilize more support to supplement those weak links. Additionally, we have to cultivate new business scenarios. We have, for example, sightseeing tours, maritime tours, immersive experience of tourism, among others. So we have to be inclusive, take an open approach, and play a serving role to facilitate the growth of these new business scenarios and business modes. In particular, we have to support the integration of culture industry with technology. So technology can truly empower the cultural and tourism industry. We also need to optimize the business environment and scrutinize the market order. For any industry to succeed, we need to cultivate a number of fine enterprises. For them to flourish, we need to have a good business environment and a sound market order. Well, the culture and tourism industry grows over years, and we have seen a disorderly pattern of development, and there are good enterprises as well as bad enterprises, and we have forced spending in some localities, which undermines the travel experience of our tourists, and they also harm the image of a city. It's heartbreaking and even disappointing to see this phenomenon popping up in different localities. So that is why in this year we plan to carry out some special initiatives against those wrongdoings. Number one, we are going to strengthen our efforts in cracking down those violations. Number two, we are going to improve the system of law and regulations and set up some standards. Additionally, we are going to put credibility in the first place to create a social atmosphere that pays attention to credibility. Whenever a new cultural and tourism product is out there on the market, then there is a flood of enterprises going into that business, causing negative competition. So we have to straighten their behaviors so as to reshape the marketplace. So in our analysis, there is a lot we can do to cultivate the culture and tourism industry into a pillar industry, and we have to translate the vision and instruction of President Xi into reality, and to that end, we remain committed, and we believe that the culture and tourism industry will be cultivated into a key industry of the national economy. It will meet people's aspiration for better lives, even contribute further to China's socialist modernization drive. Thank you.
Let's welcome the third minister to the corridor. It's the Director of the General Administration of Sport, Mr. Gao Zhidan.
好，请大家提问。
The floor is
请南
open.
区这位面对我的黑色西装的男记者提问。
好，谢谢主持人。新华社记者提问。
Xinhua News
高局长好
Agency.
在巴黎奥
Good
运会上，
afternoon.
中国代表
In the
团
Paris
体代表团
Olympic
取得了历史
stage,
性
we
的突
could
破。
see that
中
the
国的
Chinese
女健儿
delegations
们就
and
昂扬向
athletes
上，
got a
备
new
受网
record
民的欢
high.
迎，
They
备受国人的
excelled
喜爱。
in the market. They
频频
loved
地刷
by the
屏，
country
一跃
and the
成为了
people.
热词热
And
搜。
also
想
sport
请问
always
下一
become the
步
trending
你工作
topic.
的重点在
And
哪些
what's
方
the
面？
key
谢谢。
focus of the agenda
谢谢
next
你的
year?
提问。借此机会，也感谢
Thank
媒
you
体
for
朋
your
友
question.
和
I'd
各
like
界
to
对
first
体
take
育
this
工作的关心和
opportunity
支持。
to say a big thank you for your support
在党中央、
for
国
our
务院
work.
坚强领导
Yes, indeed, as
和
you've
全国人
said,
民的大力
under
支
the
持下，
strong leadership of
巴
the
黎奥
Civil
运会
Central
上
Committee
我
and
举健儿
State
取得
Council
了
and
境外
also
参赛
loved by the
最
people
好成
that
绩，
our delegates,
充
our
分彰
athletes
显了
got the best
新时代
performance
中国
in
精
the
神、
Paralympic
中国力量。
and
形
Paralympic
象
stage and
我
show
们
that the
特别
Chinese
关注到
strengths and
在
also the
媒体的
Chinese image.
广泛报道
And also with
和社会各界的
the
关注中，
media's coverage
运动
and
员
also the
所展
public
现出的
attention, and
体育
the
精神、
athletes
文化
also
素
showed
养
as
和个
sportsmanship
人魅力，
and
与
culture
他们取
and
得的
their
优异成绩一样，
personal
受到了
charisma
高度的重视和点赞。
also
可以说是
receive a lot of
是体
like
育的
online.
国家自信
I believe that
和
also
形象
showed
得到了充分的
that
展
the
示。
confidence
正
and
可是
also
啊
the
就
strength
是
of the
充分
China's
展现了
sports
我们国家发展的
prowess
新时代发
that
展的
also showed
形象，也
that
印证
the
了
a new
国运
image
兴
of
则
China.
体育兴，国
And
家
also
强
we talk
则
about
体育强。
that if China is strong, then the sports industry
体
will
育
also strong.
是提高人民健康水
And
平
also,
的
as
重要
the
的
General
途径，
Secretary Xi
是
says
满足人
that
民群
the
众
sports a
对美
very
好生活
important
向
way
往，促进
to
人的全面发展
meet
的
people evergreen needs for a better life. It's a very important way to improve people's life and also to drive that economic and social development, and also a very important platform to show that the soft power of the country. We should also to excel in the competitive sports arena. We should also to show that the different functions and also values of the sports in order to benefit the people's well-being, people's livelihood, and also to realize the goal that by 2035 we should build China into a leading sports nation and also write a new chapter for the sports industry. In terms of reform, we need to find a new driving force. At the third plenary session of the 20th Party Central Committee, and we said that we should also to make that the strategic arrangement for the system and also the reform. And also we know that very clear targets and missions to perform in this regard in terms of the strong powerhouse and also the reform. We right now also make the action plan in order to make sure that we could further mobilize that the country on the one master plan, and also to provide better service and products in the sports industry. And also we need to think about how we could build a new system that could further mobilize the national resources to improve that the capabilities at the competitive sports industry. And also we need to think about how we could modernize our management system and also how to cooperate with the market and to provide a better security and also to showcase that a different regional features. So for the sports events, that first competitive, but also at the same time, that could show that the different features representing the different places. And also we should think about the youth as well as elderly people, because they have that quite a diverse and increased needs for practicing sports. So that fitness for all activities, we need to think about how to better improve the sports facilities for the public and also increase supply of these kind of facilities. And also for youth, we also need to enrich the content and ways of young people and also encourage young people to build up their mind and strengths, mentally and physically. And also we need to conduct more the international exchanges and also to further consolidate the results gained in Paris and also to do the preparation for the Milan events and also the Los Angeles events, and also for that the key sports like basketball, volleyball, football, and also that the basic items like the track and field. We also need to think about how to make better results. And this year we will also have the national track and field competition for youth in order to further consolidate the foundations for young people to practice sports. And also we would like to put more focus on how to further boost the economies and the ice and snow area and also the outdoor activities. Need to think about that the green transformation that could be happen in this regard in a more innovative way, and also that how the sports can play its role to improve that the city's image, to make the contribution to rural revitalization and to make contribution to promote the regional coordinated development and to unleash the potential of sports consumption and also the integration model of sports plus. But all in all, we would like to let sports become one of the name cards of that local development and to also become a new driver to boost the economy and also to drive economic social development. In terms of increase the soft power of the country, we also need to think about something new we could do. So we talk about this is the spirit of the country and also a treasure of the country. So we should further leverage the sports to play its role in increasing patriotism and also to put sports in the new era, in the current context, and also to enlarge the brand of sports and also tell a good story about sports in China. And also for the fandom, we also need to make sure that the fandom or the toxic fandom not erode sports.
好，请继续提问。
Thank you.
好，请北区靠中间那位穿深色西装的男记者提问。
Next question, please.
谢谢主持人，总台中国之声记者提问。
Thank you,
高局长您好。
CMG and Radio of China.
冰雪运动的。
My question is related to ice and snow sports. The Harbin Winter Games injected more momentum to winter sports, and people see that ice and snow are also invaluable assets. So my question is, how do we flourish the winter sports economy through winter sports? Thank you for your question. Winter sports and winter sports economy, they are buzzwords right now. And during the two sessions, and they have received great attention from the deputies. As you have mentioned, the Asian Winter Games in the past winter brought a lot of attention to Harbin, and in the southern part of the country, those winter sports facilities, they have been occupied by people. So the winter sports have brought a craze into winter sports economy and relevant business scenarios. In recent years, we have implemented the vision of President Xi to bring winter sports to 300 million people. We are also acting in a spirit of flourishing the winter economy. We have been constantly improving the facilities of winter sports, and we have rolled out a number of initiatives, for example, the National Winter Sports Season and bringing winter sports to campus. In so doing, we have been flourishing the winter economy. During the bidding and hosting process of the Olympic Winter Games of Beijing, and you can see a huge number of youth who were riding the waves on their snowboards, and right now the leaders, they are leading athletes on many arenas. And during the Harbin Asian Winter Games, the athletes, they went all out and created a record in history. So we have been promoting the construction of winter sports facilities, and during the 14th five-year plan, China has added 417 winter sports facilities in numerous farms. In Hulunbuir, the first ski resort in the city was introduced. The vast people from the general public, and they are able to experience the joy of skiing right by their doorsteps. And in other parts of the country, you can see a lot of ski resorts being rolled out. And winter sports have driven China's economy. The winter sports culture is in the formation, and it's integrated with a lot of innovation, and you can see that there are more and more types of sports facilities and gears in the three northeastern provinces in Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei in China's northwest. You can see that winter sports are integrated with tourism, and throughout different regions, there is a high level of coordination. At the end of last year, the General Office of State Council circulated the opinions on boosting China's winter sports industry, which laid out plans for the further development of the winter sports industry. Since entering this current ice and snow season, we have hosted 58 international ice and snow events, including the Asian Winter Games, and we have received a total of more than 190 million visitors with our winter sports facilities. up by 28% in the 3 northeastern provinces in Inner Mongolia and in Xinjiang. The traffic of ski resorts exceeded 76 million in Guangdong and Sichuan, 2 southern provinces. Their ski resorts, they are ranking second in terms of visitors, reaching 44 and 38 million respectively. We also have an increase of 30.2% of growth in terms of inbound skiers from overseas, and the total revenue hit 35 billion RMB. Going forward, we're going to further implement the spirit of the Central Economic Conference and the government work reports so as to allow the winter sports to drive even greater economic development. We will stabilize the basic fundamentals of the 1 trillion RMB worth of market scale for the winter sports, and by 2030 we're going to have a total market scale of 2.5 trillion RMB for this industry. On this basis, we're going to step up in terms of the making of winter sports gears and facilities and sports tourism, and we will invest both financially and from a policy perspective so as to facilitate the growth of winter sports enterprises. By introducing more policies, we will drive even greater consumption in this regard. In terms of the products offering, we encourage different localities to host high-end winter sports competitions. In so doing, they will generate a huge number of travelers, and they will also be able to transform their different localities into high-end destinations for sports tourism. In so doing, ski lovers from overseas, they will gain more understanding about Yabli, Beidahu, Aletai, among other ski resorts, and more skiers from overseas will travel into China for skiing and for tourism. And additionally, we have to strike a balance between development and safety. We will cultivate more winter sports talents and mobilize the public to get engaged in winter sports, and we will draft more standards, constantly improve the service capability of winter facilities, and improve the coordination between winter sports and sports economy, and constantly drive the high-quality growth of the winter sports economy. All right, thank you very much to Minister Gao. Dear friends from the media, and this is the end of the Minister's Corridor. I look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.